What's going on, y'all? This your boy Mark Sue. It is a good day today to talk about standards. What is your standard in life? Think about it. A standard. What is it? I'm gonna break down the definition of a standard, why having standards is a must, and how do I establish a standard? Because I want you at the very end of this to ask yourself, what is your standard and why? Is that standard important to you? Do you have a standard for life while you just living every day, like, whatever decision I make, whatever? What are your decisions and everything based off of? What is your day centered around? And what is your standards? All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna break down what the definition of a standard is. So the standard is that which you establish. So if you're following along and you're filling in the blank of the paper that I've given you, it says that which is established by you. So you put your name in the first blank as a rule or measure by which I must adjust to. So the second blank is adjust. So that which is established by you, your name in the first blank, as a rule or measure by which I must adjust to. So what am I saying when I say that? So when you set up a standard in your life, this thing that you set up is a rule or a measure that you must adjust the rest of your life to. My standard is, look, I want to be 178-pound male, and this is just my health standards. Okay, I got other standards in every area of my life, but as a healthy individual, my standard is I want to be 178-pound lean individual because for the next 17 years, I want to be able to enjoy my family, play basketball with my son, be healthy with no knee pains, and I want to be able to develop a 20-year span of just eating right. And I know if I'm 178 pounds, that keeps me at that standard. So your standard don't have to be poundage. Okay, that's just me personally because I have something personal in my life that I want to accomplish. Your standard could be something different. It could be something like having joy in my life, being able to fit in these clothes, being able to look a certain way, feel a certain way, being able to be active with my family. So once you create that standard, now what you do is, guess what? You adjust your whole life to meet that standard, and you let nothing, by no means, throw that off. Every time you let something throw that standard off, you are choosing of your own free will, because we're adults here, so you have a free will. You are choosing to lower your standards. And the worst thing you can do when it comes to reaching a goal or obtaining or accomplishing something is lowering your standards, y'all. No more. No more you're going to lower your standards. After today, you're going to set a standard. You're going to set something that you want to go after. Why is that important to you? And we're not going to lower that no more for nothing, for nobody. I don't care if Uncle Bob and Mama Terry and Dad or whatever want us to eat this or do these things or drink this drink. About I got standards. I'm different. I'm different from you all. Y'all got these goals. I got my mind is changed. I'm telling you, this is the second principle to change. The first one was awareness. I got to become aware of what's got me to the point of, man, I need to set standards in my life. I let my life get too much out of control. Now, second one is standards. I'm telling you, these have changed my life when it comes to health and nutrition and life in general, man. Standards, standards, standards. You have to set a bar. You have to have a rule or a measure. You have to have something. I will not break this no matter what happens, okay? So why having standards is a must. I'm about to go through number 1 through 5 of these other blanks so that you can fill those in if you're following along with your paper. So number 1, establish why having standards is a must. Number 1, it establishes your identity, meaning this is me. So that first blank, the word should be identity, meaning I have a new identity. I am a person that is this. I am my standard now because I have set a standard. I have got to it. Now I got to live in that standard. So this is the new me. It gives me an identity. I'm a healthy 178-pound man walking around here, enjoying life, enjoying my family, playing with my son, being able to get up and down off the ground with no issues. Because when you are healthy, that's when you can really have joy. Trust me, you can go ask a lot of unhealthy people. You may know some personally, and I bet they're not enjoying their life right now. So set yourself a standard and don't let nothing creep in that's going to rob you of that, because your standard establishes your identity. Number two, you can use it to make judgment calls. So that second blank is judgment calls. Now it's like, all right, my friends want me to go out and have a couple of drinks and beers and wings. Somebody may say, well, having one night of drinks and beers and wings, not too bad. Okay, but if me personally, I got a standard, nah, I don't include drinks and wings and beers in that standard. I'm not saying you can't have a drink, wing, and beer and keep your standard, but I say just for me personally, just my personal free choice, because my standard is here. Man, I don't want to put that toxin in my body. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what your standard is, what you want to really, really accomplish. And sometimes standards are going to take sacrifice, man. But trust me, when you get to living in your standard, you ain't going to be like, man, I wish I had that drink 3 weeks ago. No. When you get to living in your standard, man, you got a new identity. You feel better. Your judgments are just going to be better, because if you don't have any judgment, then that means what is controlling your decisions and your choices that you make. Okay. Number three, it raises the quality of your life. So the third blank is raises. It raises the quality of your life. Once I raise my standard, this is the healthiest I've ever been, man. I played collegiate sports. I played against pros. I just been working out since forever, man, doing everything like that. But my standards was still low nutritionally. Now, physically and mentally, my standards were high. I'm going to outwork you no matter what. That was my goal. I'm going to outwork you. You will never work harder than me. You see me in the gym working, I'm going to work hard. So that's my standard. I want to be the hardest working person in the gym. But my nutritional standards was horrible, man. I used to eat any and everything walking. Like, my God, I used to just eat. So once I got my nutritional standard, man, the quality of my life is raised, man. Man, my arm and heart and knee and everything just don't hurt no more, man, because my nutrition have absolutely changed. So it raises your quality of life. Number four, all right, why having standards is a must. It helps you reach your goals quicker and allows you to live in those goals. Now, understand, transformation is not about reaching goals quicker, but if I consistently live in my standard, then I will be able to reach those goals quicker than a person who is double-minded, a person who lacks integrity, a person who says they're going to do one thing and does something different. It's going to take them years and years and years and years to get to theirs, but yours don't have to take that long if you live in that standard. So again, number four, it helps you reach goals. That's the first blank. Second blank is quicker. So it helps you reach goals quicker and allows you to, the third blank in that, live in your goals. Now that I got standards, this is what I'm living at. So now I've been living at 178 pounds for a while now, and it feels wonderful. So I think probably been about maybe a month and a half, 2 months, I've been living at my standard, and knowing how to keep it is great, and it's freedom, and I don't feel overstressed or burdened or like, man, I got to do this extra stuff to be able to keep it. But living in this standard feels amazing. Once you live in your standard, man, you're going to be like, wow, I made it. And then we're going to be able to live in it and keep it, because we're going to keep that standard. Don't lower your standard once you get that goal. A lot of people, I got my goal, let me go eat a cheesecake and celebrate. What? No, don't do that. Live in your standard. Trust me. That's why we're teaching you practical, simple, systematic ways so that you can be able to reach your standard in a comfortable manner and keep your standard. Okay. The fifth one, why having standards is a must. Number five, a standard does not settle for compromises. All right. A standard does not settle for compromise, meaning you're either in or you're out. You're up or you're down. You're hot or you're cold. You're left or you're right. When I got this standard at 178 pounds, 178.2 does not cut it. Point blank, period. That's not my standard. That's not my goal. All right. Eating all type of crazy food I used to eat, that does not cut it. Not say, oh, I can eat this Dairy Queen and just run it off in the morning. No, no, no. I just jumped out of my standard. Dairy Queen and oatmeal cream pies and McDonald's double cheeseburgers and all these beers and alcoholic beverages I used to drink is no longer my personal standard. Look, I'm not telling you what to do. You can do that stuff. And if you can live in your standard with that stuff, go be my guest. Okay? Because I'm not restricting you, but I'm saying if that stuff hinders you from living in your standard, that you said you got to set a standard. You cannot go no longer and think you're going to transform without a standard. Okay, you ain't going to accidentally live in or get to the point of optimal health. Not at all. You got to set that standard, and a standard, man, makes no room for compromises. So that's the fifth one, compromises. Now, how do I establish a standard? Okay, so this is going to be good. Number one, we talked about this a little bit in our awareness. Okay, how do I establish a standard? Number one, I associate not reaching my goal with too much pain. So when I set my standard, I got to say, man, this is what I want. This is what I envision. This is who I want to become. I desire that. I want to live in that. And not reaching that is too much pain. This is my standard. So I remember one time I got on the scale. I was like 178.6 pounds. I said, what? This is my first time getting into my standard. I say, man, I'm about to go run real quick. Let me get this last little bit off. Came back at like 175. I was like, yes, it feels so good. You know what I'm saying? Because I associated too much pain with that 0.6 pounds. I was not trying to live with that, man. No, I worked too hard. I want to get 178. So it was just associating too much pain with who I was. I was desiring to sacrifice who I was for who I was willing to become. All right. So it was too much pain to not reach it. Once I set something, I want to accomplish it. It's not like, oh, my friends told me I look good. Sue, you cut up. Sue, you ripped. Sue, you look nice. My wife said, oh, boy, you look. Nah, my wife might have a standard of me, but I got my own personal standard. So I know a lot of guys be like, well, I got my wife. So what you mean? You got your wife. So that means if you didn't have your wife, your standards would be higher? Like, that don't even make sense. I don't get that. You got to have a personal standard in your life. That's you. That's your identity. My wife or my son don't, no, this is my standard that I set for my life. Yeah, now I want to please them, and so they can, be with me and healthy and all these other stuff like that. But I personally have a standard that I want to live in. If something else changes in my life, my standard may change to something else. But as of right now, you know what I'm saying? This is what I want to do. This is what I want to be, and I'm going to live in it. So I associate not living in this standard with too much pain. I remember being heavy and overweight and knees hurting and not being able to run up and down the court and just not looking the same, feeling the same, and settling for size 38, 40 pants that I used to wear. Like, I was 60 pounds heavier than what I am now. No, I'm not doing that. That's too much pain. That's horrible. That's a horrible life for me personally. That's not me. I was robbed of who I was, and no longer will I be robbed any longer. I'm standing up. I'm taking a stand. This is my standard. Take a stand of who you want to be and do it now. The time is now. You're in a 12-week transformation. Let's lay the foundation now and set standards, okay? No ifs, ands, or buts. Number two, know exactly what you must achieve. So when you set a standard, like, I gotta have something in my mind, like, I want to be happy, I want to fit certain clothes, I want to weigh a certain weight, I want to, whatever I want to do, I gotta know exactly what it is that I want to achieve, or I won't be able to set a standard. So a lot of people, they fluctuate between 20, 30 pounds and down 10, and because they don't even know what they truly want. So know what you truly want. Know what you truly must. So that second blank is must. Know what you must achieve. If you know what you must achieve, then it'd be easy to set a standard. Number three, your shoulds and wants have to become must. I talked about this before. How do I develop a standard? Instead of things being shoulds, instead of things being wants, they must become a must. I must get this. Like this morning, I didn't have much time. I had to go into work early, and one of my standards now has been reading to my son, playing basketball with him. I know he usually sleeps on the opposite times of me, and I might not be it. So I had about a 20-minute period, 15-minute period. And I said, all right, well, we're going to get our little Bible reading in, and we're going to get our little basketball thing in. So I was able to accomplish that. And I feel great. You feel great when you do your standard. You know it's a standard in your life is if you don't do it, you feel horrible. That's how you have permanently set something in your life as a standard. So number 3, your shoulds and your wants have to become a must. That's how we're going to develop a standard. Number 4, you have to adopt the mindset of this must. So that 4th one is must. So must is your next 3 answers if you already seen that, because must is a lot different. Must is like I can't overlook this. This has to happen now. I have no plan B, no plan C. It has to happen now. I'm very mindful that this thing, a should, is like, I'm kind of playing around when I want to. I should. I know what no, I must is a permanent. It's a standard. It's becoming aware. I'm setting it right now. This is what I must pay my bills. You can't say, I should pay my bills. I even kept house. No, we don't want that. You must do things, and you must do it now. Now is the time, not 3 weeks from now, because you set a standard. Your standard travels with you wherever you go. I go on vacation in North Carolina, I got the same standards. That's why I enjoy my health. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be healthy the rest of my life because I have standards when I go to North Carolina on vacation. I got standards when I go over my in-laws' house. I got standards on Thanksgiving. I got standards on Christmas. It's not living a strict life. No. Look, restriction and strictness is not going to get no joy in your life. I have power over my choices. That is what gives me freedom. A holiday, an event, a celebration is not going to control what I eat and what I don't eat. Not saying I've never had ice cream or nothing like that, but what I'm saying is it doesn't control that. I am not emotionally attached to food or attached to anything unhealthy because I have learned through these things. I got standards, and standards really give you freedom because now you don't have to worry about what decisions I should make. I got freedom knowing that when I go here, I know what decision I'm going to make already. And that's something you'll grow into. That's something I had to grow into, but this really woke me up, man. This really woke me up. So the last one, you must adopt the mindset of this must happen now, and there's no question about it. So like I started off before, at the beginning, I'm going to ask you this last discussion. What is your standard and why is it important to you? So you can finish watching this video, and I want to make sure you write that down, and please share it on the Facebook page or share it in the text to me. Everybody watching this should have my phone number by now. I would love to just mark down your standard so I can have something to hold you accountable by. And don't be scared to make a standard. If that's what you truly want, what are we scared of? Don't be scared of this. Is your life. Take back control. Set standards. Don't let the day, don't let the event, don't let nothing rock you. Don't restrict yourself. Don't be like, I gotta restrict, No. Set a standard. I don't restrict myself from ice cream. I don't restrict myself from oatmeal cream pies. No, I drive past the cake. I choose not to eat that. You know what I'm saying? Or if I did eat it or whatever the case is, all I'm saying is I don't restrict myself. A standard is like, this is how I live. This is what I live in. A standard is a choice, not a restriction. People say, you can't restrict yourself and do that and do that. You're not going to be happy. I'm very happy. I'm very blessed. I'm very healthy because I have standards, and you can too. So I hope this helped you set a standard. You understand what a standard is. This is the second principle to change in this transformation. Remember, we're in it for the long haul. I understand that these ideas are different. You might have never heard them before. You might have never practiced them before. But if you make them a part of who you are, you will transform. Guaranteed, no question asked. And live in them. You're going to live in these standards. All right, I'm your boy Monk Sue, man. I'm encouraging you all, man. Become aware of what got you to this point. Now, number 2, let's start creating a standard for our life. So remember the discussion. After you turn this off, sit down, take some time, think about it. What is your standard and why is that important to you? All right, love y'all. It's your boy. I'm out.